Hello everyone, so today what we are going to be doing is we're going to be learning how to write files in C. So this is a relatively simple process, but I'm just in case you're struggling on the subject, I'm just here to show. So I'm just going to cd into my desktop / project / C / tutorial. I'm going to do mkdir file handle. It'll do for now. So in file handle, what we're going to do is we're basically going to create a new file in C. So I'm going to start by doing this. You can use whatever text editor you want, but I'm going to use Vim. So we're going to do vim create.c. So give it a little set. Okay, so I'm going to hit imit insert, and I'm going to hashtag include the standard library. So I need the stdlib.h, and then I also need to include the stdio because I'm going to print it. And now we're going to write int main void, and in here we're going to create a file variable called file pointer file. I'm going to do file equals f open, and then we're going to do hi.txt. And what we're going to do next is we are going to open in what sort of mode we want. And there's two main modes. You've got R for reading and W for writing. Those are the two main ones. I'm pretty sure there's A for appending data to it, but you don't really need to worry about that unless you're doing something like adding something to a database or a list, like if you're doing a to-do list app. So we're going to open with W, because what W is going to do is it's going to look for hi.txt, and then if it finds it, it will just open it in a write mode, but if it can't find it, it will create it. So after we've done that, we'll just do f close, and then we'll do file. So this is going to open the file, and this is going to close it. F and close. And now I'm just going to print mine, you don't have to. File created. But I'm going to do /n for new line to make it look pretty. And we're going to return 0. So after that, now what we're going to do is we're going to escape and WQ for save and quit. And you're going to need a compiler. So on Linux, like what I'm doing, you can just do sudo apt install gcc. I've already got it installed, and then you can also use, if you want, or if you can also use like sudo snap. But you could also, if you're on macOS, you'll use Homebrew to install it, and if you're on Windows, you need to install msys2, which will install then mingw. So we're now going to clear, or you could use Visual Studio as well. So we're going to hit clear, and now I'm going to compile it with gcc -o. We're going to do create, and then we're going to do create.c. We're going to hit enter. Boom. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do /create. Boom, file created. Now let's do ls, and boom, look what we have. Hi.txt. But if we cat the file to see its contents, if we do cat hi.txt, there's nothing in it. It's nothing. So what we need to do is we can just do clear, and what we can do now is we will do a function or a program to write to the file. So I'm going to do vim, and I'm going to do write.c. So as before, we're going to hashtag include stdlib.h, and we also need to include the stdio. Sorry, I'm just standing up. So now we need to create an int main and then a void variable. Then we're going to do file pointer and then file. We need to do file, so we're defining file, and it's going to be open, so file open, and then the same again, hi.txt, and then we'll do a w. After that, what we're going to do is we are now going to use a function called fprintf, and if you saw what printf does, it basically prints to the console. So what fprintf that translates to is file printf, which essentially what that does is it prints the text you inputted to the file, essentially. So what we're going to do is going to use fprintf, which will be writing to the file. So we need the file variable, and then we need our text, which is going to be hi user. And then what we're going to do is we are going to now fclose file, and then we're going to print f written to file. So that's it. And then we're going to in 0. Okay, we're going to escape WQ, and now I'm going to do GCC, so we're going to clear, make it nice and pretty, GCC tac O, and I'm going to do write dot C, boom, created. So now I'm going to do write, and boom, written to file. This is why you need to put the /n on Linux, or I think macOS includes this as well, but Bash, well, if you're from Windows, you'll know PowerShell will just print it on a new line by default, but Bash is not so forgiving. So that is a bit shame. So we just need to clear it. But it has written to file, but just before I do that, I'm going to clear it. And we're going to cat hi.txt, and boom, look at that, hi user. Very, very nice, very pretty. Also didn't do \n, but I don't really think that's much my fault. And now what we're going to do is we are going to read that file. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do vim read.c, and we're going to hashtag include stdlib.h, and then we're going to hashtag include stdio.h, and then we're going to do int main void, and then we're going to do file pointer file, and it's going to be file equals fopen, as we did before, hi.txt, and we're going to do r this time instead for reading. And this is where things start to get a bit interesting, because we could go like, oh, what's the function for reading a file? And we do use the function, but before that we need to define where the data is going to be stored. So what that is going to be is we're going to have to create a buffer, and it's going to basically be an empty array with a max amount of characters, and I'm going to set mine to 1024 bytes, but you can do whatever as long as it's enough. So we're going to do char, and I'm going to call mine buffer, you can call yours whatever you want, and then square bracket open 1024, the amount of bytes you want, close it, and then you semicolon to end the line. And now we're going to call that function fget, which is what we'd use to read the file. So you do fget, and now we are going to, the first argument that we are going to input in here is the variable that we have to store the data in, which is going to be buffer. The next one is going to be how many bytes to read, which is 1024, and the last one is what file variable, which is file. So there it is, done, and we can close the file, and then we can do print f, and for this it's a variable, so we need to do open brackets %s, and then for print we'll do /n. So what this %s means is, if you're in the basics of C and you don't really understand what this means, it means the variable and what type you're going to print it, which is %s. So you could put some text here before this, and it would be printed before this, and you could put some text here after, and that will be printed after. So we put /n after, and now we're going to do buffer as that variable, and then we can do return 0, and there we go, escape WQ, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to do GCC tac O read.c compiled /read, boom, there we go. That's how you read from a file in C, and that's also how you write and create one. Have a good night.